everyone, and welcome to the Harsh Vocals Podcast. Today is a special episode where we're going to be interviewing Christian Larson, the man behind Hell's Heroes Music Festival down in Houston, as well as the guitarist and vocalist of Necrofier, which is a melodic black metal band from Houston, if you're not familiar with them. How are you doing today, Christian?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good.
Pretty good.
I didn't say it, but Christian, my co-host, is here as well. We'll do the best we can to not confuse the two, since they share the same name.
We'll try.
Yeah. So I guess the best way to start this would just be to have you tell everybody a little bit about Hell's Heroes, when it's going on, what you're excited about for this year in particular, and then we'll pepper you some questions afterwards.
It is. The pre-party is on March 19th, and then the proper fest is March 20th through the 22nd. It's in Houston, Texas. It's a big mix of traditional heavy metal, thrash, older metal. There's some black metal on it. Most of it's somewhere like linked to what I listen to or my taste in music, but it all seems to work out.
What inspired you to create Hell's Heroes, and how did that idea initially take shape?
I'm a promoter is my regular job. Mm-hmm. So I've done like some small fests here and there. Like by fest, I mean, I put a bunch of bands together and they played 1 year kind of thing. Or maybe sometimes it lasted 2, but nothing over that. And it wasn't anything that wasn't just kind of regional. But Hell's Heroes kind of came about because I wanted to do something traditional heavy metal, and there wasn't really many of them. I mean, there was Randy's Fest, I think it was Spring Bash at the time. There was Wings of Metal in Canada, and what's it called? Frost and Fire. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's somebody else I'm forgetting that'll be mad that I didn't say anything, but that was kind of that. But like those things are very far away from Texas, so I wanted to bring something down here. And it took me a couple of years just kind of like try and figure out what to get it started was the big, like usually on these things is the toughest thing. And then I ended up getting Sarah Thungle, and then everybody else kind of like followed suit, and then it just kind of kept going from there. I mean, like traditional is kind of like where it started, and it's mostly where it's at. Some years there's more than not. It just depends on who's available and things like that. But that's kind of like the foundation of it. And then I add other things that I listen to, like on Saturday nights now after shows are all goth or dark wave stuff, because that's like I listen to a lot of that stuff. I'm in a black metal band. I listen to a lot of black metal, so I started to put black metal on the fest that I think that works with everything else too.
Yeah,
like where it's not everything fits. Like kind of like try to make sure there's something in my head that makes sure like the bands are all kind of somewhat in the same area. You know?
Yeah, I actually really appreciate that you've tried to include more black metal personally, because that's pretty much what we listen to is like black metal, death metal, or extreme genres rather than the traditional or thrash. I mean, Christian's a little bit in those veins, but I'm all about the extreme metal. And you've got a great mix this year. You're getting Departure Chandelier, which is killer. Sidon, which they're one of our favorite bands. We actually interviewed Splatterpunk a few months ago, so really cool to have them coming for one of the after parties. And then Abath, obviously doing the Immortal set is huge.
I've been wanting to get that one for a while, so I was glad that finally happened.
Yeah, I'm super excited because that's about as close as I'll ever get to seeing a real Immortal set.
Yeah, I doubt. I mean, we'll see how everything goes, but it's like maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But right now, that's what you get. So I mean, it's anytime he plays Immortal songs, it's great anyway. So having a whole set of it is like I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, he seems like a very cool guy. Like, he doesn't take himself overly seriously, and I love that.
So that's how, like and depending on some of that works, like, say, Immortal and Abath works perfect on Hell's Heroes. Like, I mean, he has, like, a Motorhead cover band, things like that, where everything kind of, I feel like, links together and it works. Where, like, that's like kind of like what I think about when I do it. I mean, that being said, that's always some kind of exception, but, like, I try to keep it where it all kind of fits like that.
Makes sense.
Well, it definitely works, because I was there for, I think it was 22, where Midnight was the secret guest that kind of not secret. I mean, everybody kind of knew that they were going to be there, but
they had a tour. I mean, that's when they were on tour with Mayhem, and the fest was sold out. So I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to say, like, I was just like, yeah, secret guest. And I was like, let me find somebody. And they could announce them anyways. So it worked out.
Yeah. And I mean, they played a killer set. I loved how he jumped into the crowd and everything. That was awesome. Yeah, it was a great set that they pulled off. Plus, that was the year I actually came in a day early just because I saw that the Bay Strikes Back tour was going on.
Oh yeah, that was
the day before. Bay
Strikes Back was the day before the pre-party. I mean, that was a busy week.
It was insane because I went straight from the airport to White Oak.
Yeah.
And so I'm carrying my bags around. You know, I asked the staff there, it's like, hey, can you put this in a back office or something? Because I feel like an idiot carrying, you know, a suitcase. Plus, I was like, are you even going to let me in? I'm carrying a suitcase. That looks kind of sus, you know, like that's kind of crazy. But yeah, it was fabulous people at White Oak. Yeah, I love that place.
It's a great venue.
Excellent. It's
Everybody
a great venue.
Did a really good job, especially like they like the fest, and it's like it's like a whole thing. So it's like they take a lot of pride in it, and it shows.
Yeah, and now having it outside and inside is fantastic because that upstairs room is so small. You know, Bewitcher played in there.
Because on some years it's like the pre-party, it's like the pre-party is inside, so if you're playing the upstairs room, it's just crazy. But if it's like if I had 2 stages that were just that size, like inside, it would be great. Except it doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. That I'd like to say that there was my first time seeing Bewitcher, but I didn't see shit. I heard them, but I didn't see anything.
Until 2023, it was always like that. So every year it'd be like, oh, get rid of the upstairs room. I'm like, what the fuck you want me to do? Because that's when it wasn't ready. It wasn't big enough to go outside. So it was entertaining just because, I mean, I listen, like when the fest is done, I'll sit there and look at comments, but usually by the time the fest is over, I know what everyone's going to say. Like, and then after that, it's like, I'll take stuff. Some things I'm just like, whatever. And then, but most of the real concerns I already kind of know. So then we just try to like every year, like learn from stuff if something went wrong or just like prepare stuff to make it better. Like experience wise.
So how?
Yeah, I'm definitely showing up this year. And I mean, honestly, it's most of the reason is because of the more variety, and I really like that. Just because it like that one year I went, it seemed like it was all great, but you start to get a little bit of overkill. There's a lot of bands sounding similar. The traditional style.
I mean, yeah, when there's a ton of like, especially depending on what traditional bands it is, it's like all the same stuff. Yeah. But the funny thing is, as soon as like I move out and be more diverse, then like whatever section of the fest that people listen to get all not enough of this. I'm like, there's a ton of traditional. I guess in reference to maybe some previous years where like almost every single band on the fest was. It's different, but besides the fact that like I want to book some of these other bands, like I'm just running out of bands. I mean, there's only so many traditional heavy metal bands that actually still play or can even play, or like a lot of those guys are hitting like their 60s, 70s. Like, I mean, some of them like gotta be close to 80 or they're already deceased. So it's a struggle in that range to kind of like even to keep that going. I mean, that being said, there's a ton of traditional bands that are old that I still want to get, and I try to shoot for that, but it's just...
Well, I'm super excited about Saxon.
Saxon, we'll want to have them for a couple of years.
I think it's been 30 years since I've seen them live, and that was Europe. So, yeah, they don't really tour a lot here in the U.S.
They tour like every couple of years. I think they toured like a year and a half ago or something like that, or last year or sometime. But they're not out that often. And also, it's like I feel like at least at Hell's Heroes, there's like a difference than seeing some of the older bands like that.
Yeah,
like if you see,
definitely,
everybody there is like, because there's a mix and there's like everyone that listens to like more extreme stuff and other things, but still likes traditional heavy metal, or it's just all the traditional kids. So you have a mix of people like of all ages seeing it, that are like super into metal, opposed to just kind of people at a Saxon show. Because there is some of those people at the show, but there's a big difference between like how the crowd is, I would say.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet for Saxon you're going to have a lot more older dudes that are super excited than a younger generation.
I mean, because like the younger generation of the traditional scenes actually is pretty active, and there's a lot of them. So I don't know. It's always surprising to me every year, like what everyone's really excited about, or just what band is going on and things like that.
Yeah, there's always a lot of discussion on the Facebook posts.
I'll put some stuff just as I want to, and I'm just like, and I know it's going to be like everyone's just going to be like polarized. Like Tank last year, I was all, oh, there's a form of Tank that's playing. All right, we're doing it. And it was, everybody was either like, fuck yeah, Tank's playing, or like, this is bullshit. No algae, no Tank. And I'm like, and it just went the whole time. Like, just people would go back and forth. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. The thing's playing.
Yeah.
I was like, and you're going to, like, what are you going to do? Run inside so you don't have to see any of it?
I guess that's an option.
I mean, you can go have a cigarette or something.
Like, everyone's either like, that was awesome, that sucked, something. but it's funny because that kind of stuff really creates like a big, like especially everybody online that likes to just go off about every single detail of everything.
Yeah, I saw like you had Lamp of Murmur last year. I saw so many people complaining about them before they saw them perform, and then once they saw them perform, they were just like, "Holy shit, that was a great performance."
See, that's like okay. So this is my whole thing on like a lot of that, some of that scene and stuff. Is I mean, like in metal, the two most metal genres I listen to are black metal and traditional heavy metal. So I was like, oh, I got a good gauge, and I know usually what some of them will like. And like that's why like I mean Lamp of Murmur and Dervaza last year, I was like Dervaza has like kind of like a Motorhead-ish and like just like but they have like a rock mentality like behind like I mean they're a black metal band 100%, but they have like that feel where I was like this will totally work, and what some people will see them and be like, whoa, I can't believe I like this. But them or Lamp, when you see it like on paper and just they see the logo, they're automatically like
yeah. Is that
or
kind
even
of
like even some of that stuff like I'm sure like some of them if they listen to like the record they might just be like whatever.
That's
depending
true.
on which Lamp record they picked up, you know.
I mean that happens all the time where like I won't enjoy a band when I hear the recording, but then I'll see them live and be like, wow, they're fucking amazing live. I mean, is that kind of
it changes how you feel about the record.
It does. Well, sometimes, I guess.
I mean, sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, but some stuff like with some bands, it's like if you choose the wrong, like they have like over 3 or 4 releases, and you choose the wrong record, you're like, this band sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, someone's like, did you listen to this? And you're like, no. Oh, this is great. I really like this record. Why did I guess sometimes, like I'll give bands a chance either way. A lot of times just to see where it goes.
Yeah. Is that kind of why you
don't like it? And everybody, especially when stuff everybody likes and I don't know, I'm like, or everybody likes, and I'm like, why does everybody like that band? And I'll like give it multiple times, and I'm all, let's do it again. I'll go see them. Mm-hmm. No, they still suck. I'm like, whatever. But like I'll, you know, like that stuff makes me curious on just how it works. So I'll just check into it just to kind of see how, like, you know, I'll give it multiple things just to see if I miss something.
Yeah, we're kind of the same way. I mean, we listen to almost every Extreme release that comes out, and we give a lot of things multiple shots, especially if any of our other fellow podcasters or reviewers tell us it's good. But still, there's just sometimes things you come across that you just don't like and try over and over again and just can't get into it.
Just had a chat in our little message group that we have, and like I've tried to get into Funeral Doom, and I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. It just does not work for me. But like a couple of months ago, I saw the band Worm, and they blew me away live.
So great.
So much so that I bought 2 of their vinyl albums while I was there, even though I've heard them before and didn't like them. Mm-hmm. But now I kind of do. It was that live show that did it.
Because Worm, like I was the same way. Where like I didn't dislike Worm, but it didn't like I didn't listen to it. Like they had like I can't remember the song, Raven something I liked. I was like, oh, this melody and the song's cool, but I didn't really like what they play is not the style of stuff I listen to all the time. And then like watching them play every day for a month, I was like, oh, yeah, this is rad. It's like the atmosphere of what it is and stuff changes like how I kind of perceive it. I guess going back to what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes when you see the band.
Yeah, well, it also helps.
I feel like Worm is also headed in a much more black metal symphonic way than they are from their death metal fucking beginnings. So I'm excited to see like whatever their next record sounds like, especially from like they were writing half that on that tour, and Phil was just playing guitar nonstop. So I was like, okay, I want to hear this.
Cool.
Yeah, I was super impressed. Okay. Is there a story behind the name Hell's Heroes?
Hell's Heroes. Okay, so Hell's Heroes is a Venomous Maximus song, which is a band I used to be in like years ago. Mm-hmm. But it comes from the Ninth Gate. Whenever you guys seen the Ninth Gate?
I have not.
Yeah, I have. It's been a while, but yeah.
You should check it out if like Christian, since you haven't seen it. But it's when they're in Portugal at the Brothers bookstore. Like they're talking like the story is it's basically like there's 3 copies of this old book that was written by Lucifer himself, kind of thing. And when they go to see the guys, he's like, they're talking about it, and he's like, this is like Johnny Depp's investigating it because like the guy bought it, and he was like trying to figure out what this is. And the brothers are like, even hell has its heroes, and that's where that song came from, and then it just ended up being the Fest name.
It's a great name.
Nice. Yeah.
It's always I was been waiting for someone like something weird to pick at the Fest like they do I mean, I guess maybe it's just not that, it's not on the level of anybody cares, but like there's a whole bunch of people flying into Houston to go to a fest and it has hell in the title. I figured somebody would throw up a fit, but
it hasn't happened yet, huh?
I mean, actually, I'd be like super stoked. I'm like, is there a picket line across the street? This is great. But yeah.
Well, especially since you're in Joel Osteen's hometown.
Oh yeah.
Douchebag deluxe. But I thought for sure somebody would complain.
But I haven't seen those people out. Last time I saw them, I went to see Ghost last year, and there was like a whole fucking shitload of them across the street. But also, Ghost is a giant band.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, they're probably just not aware of Hell's Heroes, but
I'm like, put it on your radar, start protesting so people can hear about it more.
Ghost always shocked me because, their image versus their music just doesn't line up. You would think the music would be way heavier. This is, maybe alt rock, really.
I mean, for sure.
It's heavy. It's heavy, but it's not.
It just depends on I think the whole thing with that is he's like, cool, I'm going to write just a bunch of satanic shit, except like the more extreme it is, the less people will listen to it. But if it's like super catchy and all you're doing is singing about Satanism and everyone's like, yeah, this is great. That's why people get so mad about that. Like I would say, especially in Christian circles in America, at least things.
Well, I think I saw Ghost open up for Iron Maiden on their Book of Souls tour. And yeah, I was super impressed by them. They had fantastic
their show
sound.
Was great.
Yeah, their show was great. I'm still not a huge fan of their music, like listening to it just to listen to it. But I mean, I have no problems with it. So yeah, more power to them, I guess.
But
that'd be a big name to have.
Giant rock show now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was like a bunch of dudes in cloaks with masks, and Home Dude was like the Pope thing. And it was, that was that's how it all started and got it going. And the music, I feel like, was a little more dark than, like, at least on the first record.
Yeah.
But, it was still like classic rock for all intents and purposes. But now it's just, Ghost is just its own thing and it's giant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like Rammstein. Their live shows is what, is the big draw. Their live shows are insane.
Rammstein's got some bangers for sure. But yeah, their show, the show is nuts.
Yeah, just
you get like a
explosions everywhere. Jesus Christ. You just constantly expect, like, what else is going to blow up? Like,
I like how they have it mostly set up because, like, I was on the floor and it's like there's fire in front of you and there's fire behind you and there's like the whole place. Especially if being in that area, it just feels like the whole place is just set on fire. Especially for a show that big, it's just insane. But nothing exists like that except for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I saw they did a tour diary or whatever, and they have like 80 trucks. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Stadium shows are insane. The truck number just goes through the roof.
It's like, God damn. But they're selling the place out, So you got, 50, 60, 70,000 people there just to see Rammstein. So.
Well, on some of that, when you have, there's more to the show than just say, like, you go in to see a band. Then, like Guar. How many people listen to Guar versus actually go see them? I've done Guar shows, and there you see, like, a whole anthropology group show up from, like, a class in college. Like, our teacher said, like, we get extra credit if we came and checked out Guar. I was like, this is entertaining.
Yeah.
They just show up, and all of them just show up in white shirts and get soaked in space semen or whatever, and just, like, they're all like, this is cool.
Yeah,
I went and saw
Justin,
Dark Funeral. Guar was there.
Yeah, to me, it feels like if you've seen one Guar show, you've kind of seen them all.
Yeah,
and whatever you do, don't stand up front. My God, does that stuff smell terrible?
Yeah, some people, that's exactly why they go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
I have no desire to see Guar and get soaked and all that stuff. But but some people, that's exactly what they want.
It just smells so fucking bad.
It just smells so bad. Oh, fuck. It's just, it seriously smells like a sewer. It's like, fuck. All right. You already talked a little bit about how you curate the lineup. You're just kind of hoping to catch people when they're available. Is there, do you have a bucket list or anything like that?
There's always like a list. Last year was kind of like, because last year was the biggest year. And some of that stuff's like hard to top just because I've been trying to get Sodom for like 5 or 6 years. I've been trying to get Solitude Eternus since I started it. Things like that. And it all just kind of came together. Or even I had asked Forbidden back in the day, and then they randomly got back together as I was finishing up the lineup, stuff. Like a lot of pieces fell in the right place, and it all kind of like Queensryche. It's the year before had wanted to do it, but they're like, well, we can't make this year work. So they, it ended up happening that year with that set, and it all just kind of came together, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Which is great, except then I had the complete opposite thing happen to me this year, where I was just chasing a bunch of motherfuckers the whole year, and like that's why I'd announced late and some other things like that, where it's like some years it's really tough, and some years like it's just like last year was like pure magic. This year was like a bit of a workout.
All right.
How much of it is just you working on the bands? Do you have like a team, or is it just all your own connections?
It's all me. And then like I have a couple friends where I'll be like, and then like so a couple friends I'll like run ideas by, or like I have close friends who'll just text me, you should get blah. And then now it's like luckily on some of this stuff like I just get messaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure as it gets bigger, more bands will reach out to you.
Like sometimes like there's a bunch of bands that are just like, hey, we need to play the fest. We deserve to play the fest. Some other nonsense. It's pretty entertaining. Like reading some of those messages. Especially when they're on social media, because then I don't have to I'm just like looking at them like, what did you just say? Because it's like it gets a little ridiculous. But then sometimes I get a message like this year. I got a message from some dude. He's like, hey, John Christ wants to play the fest and do Danzig songs, and I was like, fuck yes, let's do this, because I never would have thought to message John Christ to have him do shit, because I didn't even know he played again anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, do you know the band Ludachrist?
Yes.
Well, they changed their name to Scatterbrain later on.
Yeah.
Man, that would be a huge get.
Pretty cool.
I would love to see a Here Comes Trouble set. Oh, fuck. That would be amazing.
Some people, because like when I start asking band stuff, I'll be like, hey, let's do this. And they'll be like, we're never doing a show again. Or there's a big laundry list of stuff.
What elements of the festival is your main focus to make sure people leave with a lasting positive experience? Is there something that like you focus on? Like I'm sure part of it is, the lineup and the times that certain bands go on. I'm sure there's thought that goes into like this band would be great following this band versus, the other way around.
Yeah, there's something when I look at the lineup, I try to keep like a certain thing to it. And then sometimes towards the end of the day, some of the sets overlap because somebody always wants to play longer. And then I just can't, like we have a curfew outside, so I can't push it. So I'm like this, if you want to play 10 minutes into Sodom, then go ahead. And then like Attic played a longer set last year, or every time whoever's closing I think the inside stage always plays a little bit longer, or even before that. So, but I try to make it where it's mostly you can catch everybody if you can. Inside is also smaller than outside, but there's some people that don't even care. They're just like, we're at the fest. So I think it kind of balances out. If everybody wanted to see every single band, it would be insane. Because it couldn't happen. Mm-hmm. But I try to
I definitely tried.
But I try to make the days work together where they're not like all the same thing on the same day, but it all seems to like kind of flow pretty well. I try to stack the bands where I'm like, yeah, that feels right. Okay, that'll be cool. I play in bands and stuff, so I try to make sure the bands have a good time in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can definitely tell that they did when I went. I mean, Midnight was having a blast. The guys from Bewitcher were having a blast.
Because those are like little things you can do that make it like if you're in a band, especially smaller bands, because the bigger bands get what they need because it's like part of the deal. But when you're a smaller band, you play fest. It's like you get something to play it. It's not insane, but you get to play the fest and you're stoked. Except so like the little things, like the little extras, like make everybody have a good time. Other than that, people just try to make sure, like figure stuff out. Like first couple years we didn't have enough food, so it's like trying to make sure we have enough food so lines aren't totally insane. And then there's just like stuff to watch out for, just kind of make sure everybody has a good time.
Well, one of the things that I saw last year that a lot of people were complaining about, I guess, was the merch table and like the excessively long lines and everything. How is that going to be managed this year? Is it going to be the same as it was last year, or is it going to be...
Well, last year what happened is we had like 3 people call in and our merch manager quit like 2 weeks before the festival. And then one of the person people working broke her foot while she was working.
Oh, wow.
So, it'll be fine this year. I'm not worried about it.
A lot of bad luck.
It's an easy fix that because we should have been able to just handle it the way we wanted to, except everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So it was just insane.
It sounds it's all been addressed, like how
for everything from like getting stuff better to be checked in and to making sure like there's more people working to everything. So
cool.
It'll be better than last year.
How important is the local Houston scene to the festival, and how do you incorporate that into the event?
The Houston scene is very important. Like, I mean, a lot of those people are my friends. I've been going to shows with them for decades. I usually try to include Texas bands and so Houston bands. Like Oath of Cruelty's played a couple times. I mean, like I've played, but that doesn't really count because everybody will just be like, whatever, it's your fest. Like Leather Church is playing. They're from Houston this year. Last year, Thunder Tank played an after show. It's like I try to keep like, depending on like where like Hellstar's, like I mean Hellstar's like the Houston heavy metal band, so like somehow they're always on the fest. I mean it's always somehow because I usually make it happen. But I mean there's years I'm like this. All right, you played every year, you can't play, and then someone cancels last minute. I'm like, so you guys want to do it? And they're like, of course, because in Houston it's like everybody's seen Hellstar. They've been a band here for 40 years, but you know everybody flies in, never gets to see Hellstar, so it's kind of like I'm sure at this point they're like, anytime there's like this, like we need to replace the band. That's like the what is it? Like what the group will be like, it's all going to be Hellstar, I bet. And I'm just like, bring it down. But I mean, I try to incorporate like my friend Carlos does a festival called Destroying Texas. Like Carlos helps me promote the fest and stuff. Like he sells merch at, like he does like he sells patches and shirts and all that kind of stuff. So he has a booth there. Like lots of people, I have tried like in the vendor area stuff. I have like lots of people, like people. My friend Todd makes clothes. Other like the Houston metal market, like we have like once a month. A lot of those guys that do that are also like vendors at the fest. My friend Willow does barbecue at the fest every year. He's an old metal dude, hardcore dude. It's just kind of like a lot of that stuff I try to incorporate like my friends and people like from like the scene I've known forever, just like along with stuff so they can, you know, be part of the stuff. If they have a business that works with it, then they like it's something to help their business, things like that.
Very cool.
Cool. I have one question that I've actually been wanting to know since I was at the 2022 event. How the fuck did you get the Lord Weird Slough Egg?
I mean, they play shows. Those dudes they're not, I mean, those guys weren't like, they've been playing shows and they're not like really ever on hiatus or anything. So, I mean, it was just like they were on the list of guys I wanted to get and they said yes. So I was like, sweet.
Oh, I mean, that was one of the main reasons that I went there because I was a fan of theirs since the 90s. And Mike Scalzi, I consider a fucking genius. And it's just so funny that he's some sort of fucking professor at a college. That's his day job. And, you know, when you see the kind of music that he writes and you're just like, what the fuck? I'm just picturing him like telling his students, yeah, I really am in a metal band. Yeah, sure you are, Mr. Scalzi. Sure you are. Yeah, that was a highlight. I got a picture with him, and I know he doesn't normally take pictures and stuff, so that was super cool to meet him.
So, I mean, the show keeps growing every single year. Do you ever think you're gonna outgrow White Oak? And if you do, where would you go?
I don't really think it will, just like for the fact of like, even if I started getting something like, say, Judas Priest or Merciful Fate or something, it would still be there. It would just sell out, like with the outside. But like to take the next step would put it somewhere like super big where I'd have to like have Iron Maiden or Metallica headline it, and then it just becomes too big, and there's not a spot, and it's a lot of money, and it just kind of changes it too far. Where I feel like something like those last two bands I just named work on the fest, and they're still like giant popular bands, but not giant popular bands like Iron Maiden or Metallica, you know?
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
It just changes like the whole kind of like concept of it, and like because I mean now I guess like say some of this like traditional metal and some of that stuff is like considered underground or whatever, but I mean that was just regular rock back in the day, and it was huge and things like that. So to put some of those bands that just become that big, it just changes it. Where like I feel like it changes it from being something special and like kind of underground to just like some other festival.
Well, it also has kind of a personal feel.
Don't get me wrong. I think it'd be cool as fuck to do some crazy ass like one-time big festival thing like that. But that's like a whole nother thing that I don't even know where I would go with that yet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think if you have somebody like Maiden if you have somebody like Maiden or Metallica or something, you're going to have a huge segment of people that are only there to see them.
Yeah, they'll just show for that. They're like, all these other bands.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about it.
But also, even in the current thing I'm at, I'm already like maxed out where I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, who am I going to get next year kind of thing. Especially when I have like ideas. I'm like, cool, this will work. And then when all of them say no, I'm like, that's great. Because that's what happened this year. I was like, okay, cool, these big bands. And then it was all, cool, I think this is going to happen. And then it just all went away. And I was like, cool, let's start over. I mean, I'm talking about headliners and stuff. A lot of the everybody else, like right below that and everything else, like really came together good. And I was real excited, like with just how that all like the midsection of the fest came together and things like that. And then, but it was just this year with headliners, which is what it takes to, I feel like, to keep it like that, like the size it's currently at makes it tough. Even at this level, like we're at the size it's at, it makes it tough. So like going bigger, it would take something like, there's like 2 or 3 bands and then it'd be whatever.
So if you keep running into not being able to get the traditional guys, would you diversify it even further and bring in like bigger death metal bands or something?
I don't know if I'd go totally death metal. The only band that's been on the fest or the only bands that have been like people consider death metal would be like more like Possessed and Autopsy, which I mean, I still feel like in the death metal world that works with the rest of them. Mm-hmm. We're like something like, but like Cannibal Corpse that wouldn't fit with everybody else on the show. It'd be weird, or even Obituary or something. You know, like I mean, those like they're great bands, but but
they don't have that rock and roll bass.
It's got because then it just like there's other things in the country like MDF has tons of stuff, but it's mostly like death and grind, and then you get some black metal, and then there's like a doom band. Or like Orange Goblins playing this year.
Yeah.
Like it's like I try to keep it where it's maybe like it'll probably mostly be like traditional heavy metal and black metal, and then there'll be other stuff thrown in, kind of like we'll say MDF does mostly like death metal and grind, but there's other stuff. So, but I don't know. I guess it just kind of changed. Like it just depends on how stuff like presents itself and where it goes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What was just a personal question? What was your introduction to metal, and how's that influenced your approach to this festival?
When I was around 11 or 12. My dad had some family, like friends from Norway, come over, and his son, who was like 15 or 16 at the time, this is like 92, bought about every single metal record that was out, because especially at the time, Norway is very expensive, but at that time it was very much more expensive than here. But I mean, he must have bought like 20 CDs, and everything was just like, it was like Megadeth, Slayer, everything in that world. And I just remember seeing all the records and being like, what the fuck is this? I was like, this stuff looks rad. And then my neighbor was into metal, so that kind of like just went from there. But some of that stuff, like those stuff, Slayer and things, were some of the first things that he showed me. Like me, Metallica and stuff was like probably where I started with listening to things. But that all set me on the road to be here, because I feel like you don't start listening to like something ridiculous and like underground before you listen to something. I mean, it just doesn't usually naturally happen, especially then.
Yeah. We say that all the time. Nobody starts out with Dying Fetus.
Yeah. I mean, maybe now with the internet and some other weird shit or something, like that happens to somebody, but usually it doesn't. Mm-hmm. At least it never used to happen,
Yeah, I was 10 years old and I bought this new album from AC/DC with a new singer called Back in Black. So that kind of tells you my age. But yeah, even then my mom was telling me that it's a phase that I'm going through, and 45 years later.
I got the same thing.
Yeah, it's still a phase. Do you have a...
and stuff, it's kind of hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a bucket list type band that you would absolutely positively love to get that you haven't gotten yet?
I mean, there's a couple I'm like always working on. I don't want to like just say it, because then it'll just like, either jinx it or just everybody just thinks I'm getting it. This year, everybody thought I was getting fucking Running Wild, and I was like, it's never going to happen, people. I was like, stop talking about it. You're just making yourselves excited about this. They don't like, because there's weird things. Like some bands still play, and like they don't want to come to America, or they don't want to fly over here. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure some of those European bands would probably be difficult. It's not
European
easy.
Stuff, it's kind of dependent of like, I mean, some of them are a big pain, some are pretty easy. I don't know, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, I don't think Running Wild, have they ever toured the U.S.?
I don't know. The only thing I've heard is that one of the dudes doesn't like to fly. So
put him on a boat.
Send them a rowboat.
For 3 weeks. But I mean, so I don't really know. Like I've tried on. Like sometimes I email people and they get back to me and they say something like they quote something outrageous. It's either something I think they want or something just to be like, we don't want to do that. Like here's like this is, and then I mean, there's all just different things because especially like bands from the time period of a lot of like the older bands like those, it just gets crazy. Like there's something that happens. I don't know. Some of them are really easy too. So I don't really know. There's no like rhyme or reason to it.
All right.
But there is a couple bands like I've like always asked about or just kind of trying to figure something out. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Hopefully some more of them show up.
I mean, I always thought the band Airborne would do really, really well at Hell's Heroes.
I like Airborne, like as in, I mean, like I used to listen to Airborne, like as in a record, or not like something I jam. But I thought they'd be cool. But I feel like Airborne's just like kind of like they're just like a modern rock band at this point, even though they sound just like it's all AC/DC.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't know if it fits in with the rest of everything I book.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Because when it gets into rock world, then it gets weird. Because like some of my friends will like book the Helicopters, and I was like, I fucking love the Helicopters, but I don't think anybody that listens to extreme metal or fucking heavy metal like knows who like listens to the Helicopters.
I do. I like them.
I mean,
I was waiting for that.
There's enough people that like I know where I'm like this. It's always like a maybe, but it's like I don't know where it goes after that. Because like also the Helicopters are huge in Europe, and in America it's like. Okay, it's cool. I mean, I've never understood like how dynamic the difference is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like I went like the Helicopters did that with their first reunion show. Went to Spain and saw it, and I watched them play for like 10,000 people at 2 a.m. And I was all, "What is going on?" I mean, it was fucking amazing. And but you know, like that would have never happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of late nights and early mornings. So like I know White Oak has a curfew because of the location it's in. So how do you guys do like the after parties and whatnot?
Well, the after parties are inside and there's no curfew. I mean, the curfew is just like whatever the like.
Oh, it's only applying to the outdoor.
Yeah, it's only the outdoor stage.
Okay.
So the outdoor stage has to be done by 10 on Thursday and 11 on Friday and Saturday.
Gotcha.
All right.
So that stage just has to end by that, and that's why I have all the extra stuff. It's like there's the inside stage just goes. I mean, I call it after show stuff because it's after the headliner. But I have the downstairs, and then this year I moved the smaller ones to the upstairs room. So instead of like I had it at Black Magic, except Houston's not like the most transit-friendly city.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So it was Black Magic's 10 or 15 minutes away in a car. So it just some of those shows would be a lot better if I could do them closer. So I'm trying it out this way to see if it works better.
Cool.
Right. And then we notoriously usually have DJ stuff next door and some things like that. And then everybody seems, I mean, because I originally didn't do any after stuff. Then I noticed everybody just wants to party the whole time. So I was like, well, I'll just book a bunch of stuff so you guys can hang out, I guess.
All right. What's the most rewarding thing about running Hell's Heroes for you personally?
On some of it, it's like meeting like guys like artists I've looked up to forever, or them just being like Tom G. Warrior was like, thanks, this is the best festival I've ever played in America. I've never had this good a time, and sat down and talked to me for like half an hour after the fest, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, just it's really just mind blowing. Like Sokka said this basically like kind of was like the same thing to me this year, because I was just like, hey, will you come do like stuff off the first 3 records? He's like, yeah, like no big deal, because some people are very offended when I ask them to play specific stuff. And yeah, but talking like, especially guys like that have been doing it forever, and then they have a good time. It's like, and they're like, I don't want to sound rude, but this is like a European fest. I was like, I know what that means. I know it's not an insult.
Yeah.
So, but that stuff, like, it makes me feel really good. Just like a lot of like the ideas of me putting it together, and then how it's run with everybody I work with. It feels good just to know like it created something that like works, and people that have been doing this for a very long time have a good time at.
Yeah, it's got to feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that when I came to Hell's Heroes, one thing that I really liked about it was it still felt like ground level. Like I've been to the Monsters of Rock in Germany when I lived there. And it's huge and it's awesome, but it's very, very big. And, Wacken
is like once you go into like a field and have 10,000 people, it just kind of changes the vibe of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, Wacken is so big now.
God, bigger at Wacken, and there's 70,000 people walking around. Because you could just go to realistically, you could go to that fest and not even see a band and like just hang out and party. Which I'm sure there's people that do that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was crazy, you know, when they announced that, you know, they were having so much trouble with shipping beer to where, you know, the fest was being held in Wacken, that they actually spent the money to build a pipe that goes to the festival grounds, that goes to the brewery and they just pump beer to the festival directly. I mean, it's like, damn.
What do you expect with like 70,000 fucking Germans partying for the weekend? But like when you do a festival that's big, like when festivals are that big, it changes the dynamic of the region because it brings in so much money for everybody and does stuff. That's where like parks get redone by the fest, the roads get built because the fest pays for them all, or like they work with the government because there's just so many jobs and things that depend on it that it becomes like, it's like at this point, I mean, it's one of the most known festivals in the world.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, Wacken is a very small town, small town. There's nothing to it. And then now I think Hellfest has kind of taken over as far as like, Jesus Christ, that thing is huge.
I think they're about the same size, but I mean, whatever.
Oh, fuck. I think Hellfest is a week long now?
Oh, they just did that 1 year after COVID. It's like, I think.
Oh, did they? I thought that was going forward.
Back to like Hellfest is just like a weekend thing like Wacken is.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but that week-long shit after COVID was ridiculous. I was like, why? I was like, stop. I was like, you already have like... Because on festivals like that, I'm always just amazed because I feel like you just have to book bands. It's like on some of it, I'm like, do you even care who you book? Like, there's so many bands on here.
Yeah.
But that's what, like, festivals like that, it's too diverse. I mean, they have their name and everybody goes to the festival, but like, if I went like as diverse as like one of those fests did, like at Hell's Heroes, like no one would go because it would just be like, why are all those bands playing?
I'd go.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, but I can't have like Joffer and Cowboy and Exciter and like some deathcore band playing all at the fest. It would just be like, why?
Yeah,
yeah, we get that.
I mean, like especially like on the smaller fest, I feel like the more because like how like diverse I have it, I think works. But if I started like booking stuff, like started booking like deathcore and stuff, like and then it just like everyone would be like, what? Like what is wrong? Like this fest is so fucking dumb. Like whatever your taste on that music is, but all those other people that go to Hell's Heroes, like I would say 90% of them would be pissed.
Yeah.
And then it ruins like their special little thing because it's like a niche festival and then like everybody loses their mind.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, there's another festival in the US that did that. They like put a bunch of deathcore and metalcore bands and it was not their like standard. I don't remember if it was Decibel Fest or something like that.
Oh, it was Ozfest or whatever they did, that redo of it or not, one of those things and they just redid it with everybody new, like Bad Omens and all this stuff. And everybody was like, what the fuck is this?
There's like a huge backlash because of it.
Mayhem Fest.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Mayhem Fest. Yeah.
Yeah, Mayhem Fest and Slaughter, like in the Summer Slaughter got ripped about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so don't do that. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were like, because I understand what they're trying to do, but like when you have a brand for something and everybody's like thought of that and like they're like, this is what this is, and then you come back and you're like, this is what it is now because this is cool, and everyone's used to be into it. It's just like, oh, you should have just called it something else.
Yeah. Well, I love that you obviously like black metal and try to incorporate some pieces of that because that's a big draw for me. I mean, if it was all traditional, I'm not sure I'd be going. But since you have so much black metal included this year, I'm really excited about it.
There'll be some more next year. There's a couple things I'm working on that like I'm excited about. The only problem with booking black metal on the fest is all of them are in Europe, so it means I have to fly them all over, and then that just makes it more difficult.
Well, you got a few. You got a few US bands. You got Spectral Wound and Holder and Sidon this year.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've got. I mean. But after that, the list of bands that are like at least on that level and bigger are everyone's overseas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good like US small there's a lot of good US black metal, except I feel like a lot of it is smaller. And that doesn't matter on some spot, but like that there's only a certain amount of spots I can fill with some of that like bands that size. I know
Stormkeep canceled last year. Any chance of them coming back?
End up playing at some point. Those dudes just have too busy of a schedule.
Yeah. I would love to see Stormkeep.
I told them, I was like this, they go, look, there's a possibility we can cancel. I was like, yeah. Blood Incantation gets some giant tour or whatever. Just let me know. Yeah. And then like, he messaged me in like November, and he's like, "So," I go, "Yeah, okay, cool. Make it happen in the future." I mean, I knew it was coming because I told them, and I wasn't mad. I was just kind of bummed, but
yeah,
we've talked back and forth, and like, I mean, maybe we'll make it happen in 26. We'll see.
I'd love that.
Okay, like Stormkeep is perfect for Hell's Heroes because it's black metal, but it's like black metal that fits in that world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where like Jake from Visigoth sings on that record.
Yeah.
So it's like that's like in the perfect like mix of like whenever like I feel like even the traditional kids get excited about that stuff, and it works.
Yeah, makes sense.
Even their other band would work on a separate day.
Everybody'd be like, "Oh God, what are you doing?" And I'd be fucking stoked. But you know.
I mean, I drove 3 hours to see their other band, Wayfarer, and I think Wayfarer would work at Hell's Heroes.
Wayfarer could work at Hell's Heroes.
Yeah. Have Stormkeep one day, Wayfarer the next. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, those dudes are hard to track down, especially how many projects they got. But I mean, we'll see. At some point, they'll end up down here.
Cool. Well, as far as number of attendees and stuff, what is the maximum that you guys can have at White Oak?
The max I would really put out there for the fest, so having people all day is somewhere around like 3,500, 4,000, maybe more like 3,500, maybe 4,000 on Saturday or something. Just it's the last day, and people just kind of show up. Like people just want to go. People that want to just go see the fest and don't really care about like exactly who's playing, because I feel like there's a lot of that now. Like at least from Houston, like some people are like, "Oh, I like metal. I like that one band. I'll go," but they're not going all 3 days.
Yeah,
they're paying a couple $100.
Yeah, I know you guys just put out the single day passes. Is there?
I mean, of course, like Saturday usually has the bigger band, but Saturday always sells more tickets than the other two.
Yeah, didn't you guys sell out last year?
Basically, it got right where it got right at the thing. It wasn't like I turned people away and stopped selling tickets, but it was basically right at where a sellout is.
Okay, so there's still plenty of tickets for this year for people. Yeah. Okay, good.
Are there any surprises? I mean, you don't have to mention what it is, but like, is there anything that like hasn't been announced or that?
I'm sure. Like, I mean, I don't know when this comes out, but there's the U.S. travel office has been a pain and some other stuff. There's just like Status canceled, Exciter canceled, something else. I'm sure just because I'm just going with this year's been a lot. I'm like, something's going to cancel, so you'll get a couple new bands. Who knows?
All right.
So stay tuned. Everything on the top end of the thing is fine. It's just kind of like some of the smaller bands, like here and there, some stuff, or like in the middle and stuff. Some stuff's going on. So we'll see.
All right. About your band, Necrofier. Yeah, I've bought both your albums on vinyl at this point. Any y'all working on some new material?
So we just got done recording a new record and we're mixing it, and hopefully it'll be mixed and mastered in the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
Nice.
I would say this next record is a lot more black metal than the last two. Like just straight, just blasting and other stuff going. Like, I mean, I feel like it takes a combination of what we did on the first record and the second record, and then make that more black metal. I guess I don't know what else to describe it.
More aggressive.
What everybody thinks of as black metal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little more unhinged and kind of that. We also did a lot more kind of like synth work and other stuff in the background without it being like overtly like. But I'm really happy with it. It's like my favorite thing we've done.
Very cool. When's that coming out?
Maybe later this year. I'm not sure yet. Because right now it's like we're waiting on art, and then we're waiting on the record and master. But we're not trying to we're trying to take our time, get everything done right, work on some videos and get photos done and stuff like that. Everything you do for the record, except do it like on a proper time frame rather than just. It's like race to get everything done, and everything's always behind because I mean, like this is like the only thing we do. So everybody has jobs and stuff like that. So it's not, if you don't get a jump on all of that, sometimes it'll creep up on you before you know it. You're like, we have a video due in 3 weeks. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Do you have what band was it that got a whole bunch of shit for doing AI art?
Oh, no, you're talking about Pestilence.
Yeah, Pestilence was one for sure.
Pestilence, dude, double down. Like, fuck you guys. This shit's cheap, and you need to get with the times. I'm like, tell it, old man.
Yeah. But it was funny. It's like, you need to be cool with Pestilence's new stuff and how we're putting stuff out. And it's like, well, you just put out a compilation album. That's not new stuff. But
that shit was really fucking weird. Like, that whole fucking thing with them was strange. I didn't really, I was like, oh, this is just weird. Like, why are you so...
championing of AI art.
Yeah.
If you want to use AI art, it's going to, I mean, because now is where everybody's going to be pissed. But the only people that are pissed are like us. People under the age of 25 probably don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But sometime in the next 10 years, I feel like a lot of it's going to be that. And there's already a ton of shit where I'm like, is that AI art? Is it not? And then something like that fucking rules. I'm like, that's AI. Fuck. Like it's not. I mean, there's the ones that they used and stuff. I was like, that shit sucks. Mm-hmm. But that's just my opinion. But you know, like that stuff's only learning. So sometime in the future, it's just. I mean, it's going to really fuck it up, opposed to like just right now where it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to defend it with the whole bit of metal bands are on a shoestring budget and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but there's, you know, and it's hard for metal bands to make money, but, you know, it's also hard for visual artists to make money.
I mean, there's a ton of artists out there that will do stuff for reasonable prices.
Yeah.
But
or just to get credit.
It's like a fucking giant, like you want somebody that's like some world-renowned painter that does everybody's record that's like fucking thousands of dollars, and but like I mean you can get on Instagram and find a whole bunch of people that are fucking phenomenal that will charge you less than $500 to paint you something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or like the digital people on the same lines of like, because there's a lot of people that are good at that. I mean, there's like a whole different options. You could do like collage things, you could do a photo, there's a million other things you could do that aren't just like straight up like typing something into whatever that thing's called.
I mean, you could literally just go out in the woods and take a picture and then make it black and white, grayscale.
Yeah, and there you go, black metal.
I was like, I mean, yeah, like black metal bands like roll on straight. I mean, like the modern version of it is like you would like take a picture and just contrast the fuck out of it, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then they just do the same thing on a Xerox machine.
Yeah,
you know how many album covers I've seen that are just, you know, paintings from the 1400s that are, you know, fair use.
Just rip some fucking. I mean, our last album cover was like, it was an old Italian painting that my friend redid and added like some ghosts and all this stuff on it. But I mean, there's a shitload of old stuff. I mean, all that door stuff. I mean, like Emperor used it on some things when they started, and there's tons of like, I don't know how many countless records of old woodcut things or. In the fucking stoner rock scene, people like ripping off old Art Nouveau or just taking Art Nouveau stuff that's like out of copyright stuff and just using it.
Yeah.
There's a million other things you could do besides fucking using AI art. Yeah. Not that you should just steal old stuff, but I mean, but some of it's cool. Do something to it.
I just feel like the AI thing is just lazy.
It is.
Like you're just not putting any thought into it.
I mean, besides the fact that it's kind of like fucks artists, I mean, most of it looks like fucking terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
It's even worse when artists or when musicians use AI to like help write their songs or something, like Unleash the Archers did. Like,
wait, Unleash the Archers did this?
Yeah, their latest album, they used AI to help write some of the songs and the music in some of the songs. And they did the cover with AI art. It was like a whole big thing where they were defending it too. You didn't see that?
I didn't see any of that.
It was so bad.
I think it's usually on my radar as far as like I pay attention.
Yeah.
But I didn't even see anything like that.
Yeah,
that's it
was pretty bad.
So I in Devil's Advocate and some of this shit, you could start like a band that's like, hey, this is the future, and you can just do it all fucked up. Like it's like, hey, we're basically about to hit something like when turn into like a Blade Runner society. So we're gonna have AI help us do this and do all this other shit. Like we're a computer band. What the fuck? Well, I don't think anybody's owning it that hard.
No, there was a band called Thrakish Orc Kings, I think, that they did their entire album with AI, the whole thing. And
does it even count?
I mean, it's terrible.
I mean,
it's not good.
I'm just talking about like on some of this stuff. If you're just programming some words into I mean, don't get me wrong. I know because I've seen a bunch of stuff. Like I've seen a couple dudes that do some AI stuff. Like that, there's a lot of work that went into that. Like was it Journeyman? I don't fucking know. Like
Midjourney.
Yeah. This dude did this like whole weird. It was like a trailer of a show that didn't exist, and it looked like some kind of weird like the Dark Tower, and Alejandro Jodorowsky did it or some shit. And I was like, this is fucking rad. But it was all AI generated that he did, but that wasn't like. I don't know where, because this is where all this stuff's going to get strange. Is like when it gets to that and like you really have to do something creative and something to get something like that out of it. Is that still it? I don't know.
I know, but if at least in that case, the person is saying, hey, I made this with AI, owning that. It's a whole lot different when somebody puts out music and they've used AI to write it.
Sorry, yeah. And that's just in art. In music, I'm like, get fucked. I was like, then it, like, it just gets weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like too much. I mean, like, but the funny thing is a lot of like, if you listen to a lot of like pop stuff and just like what's this called, like some mainstream music and things like that, a lot of that stuff's edited enough that like, which is using stuff that it's not AI writing it, but it's AI edited.
Mm-hmm.
So like those people's some of those people's vocals sound just like an AI would sing something, because that's how the program that did that to their voice sounds like anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't listen to I don't listen to almost anything like that, so it's not. The underground music's like a whole different world.
Yeah, it really is.
See, and I honestly think you can probably get away with it with other genres, but you really can't get away with it in metal.
No.
Because metal's more about the emotion, anger, happiness, for power metal, and, the atmospheric black metal, you're not going to.
I mean, I think you can get away with doing a power metal AI fucking record all day long.
Yeah.
But you can't have what are you going to be like, write me a fucking raw black metal demo about the woods, and it's like, it comes out all great. This is going to sound stupid. But like, speaking of that, like, so Dauber that's in Necrofier is the drummer from Insect Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And they just had a bunch of fucking AI random shit show up on their fucking Spotify page.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like,
and it's just like, the art's fucking stupid in AI, and it's like they changed the thing. It says like John Smith, and it's just all these just terrible sounding songs that are just obviously AI generated.
Yeah, and Spotify's like miscategorizing them. It's a problem.
Well, I think didn't they put out something saying they don't care?
I haven't seen that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Then it jumps in, like, because some of this stuff, it's like with AI stuff and this and that, where it's like the internet's getting weird. Where do you guys get into dead internet theory at all?
A little bit.
So like all that stuff is now, I'm like this, because before, like, whenever like that was started getting discussed like a long time ago, I was like, yeah, and now I'm just all, yeah, it's all true.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's not, because I feel like for a while it's just been like bots, like let's say like YouTube, like, so how many of those plays are actually real on everybody's or Spotify, just to like make you like even the company do it to themselves. So they seem like they have more things going on, or they can sell more advertisements, or makes, just not like for anybody's individual gain, but just makes them look better.
Right.
But now it's like that. And then like social media, like you post some shit, like there's like certain things that get responses, or I'm like this, yeah, that's not a real person. Or just like, I'll look at friend requests and be like, nope. Like, you're not fucking real.
Yeah. There's way too many bots out there for sure.
So now it's like this. Oh shit, that's all a real thing now. That's cool.
Yep.
So it's like how long before everything just checks out? Because most people I know almost are still on social media because they kind of almost have to be.
Because they all have projects or businesses. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what am I going to do? Like get off social media, and then like because even if say I deleted all my personal social media, then I would still have to get on the band thing. So it's not like I wouldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you see even more of it with the Hell's Hero side of things.
Oh yeah, then it's like, way worse. I have to manage all the shit with the fest, because that's straight just social media use. Because if I just sent out some emails and did something, it would never have the same effect.
It's very true.
So it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Not do anything?
The only reason I knew about Hell's Heroes in 2022 was I saw the lineup on Facebook, and I was like, oh shit. And, I was like, fuck, I need to go to this. And
that's basically the only way any of it really goes. Like, because like, it's like social media isn't all the devil, but it really is for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of trash.
They're never going to, they've already, it's already gone too far one way, and I don't think there's any way of fixing it, and they wouldn't fix it anyways, because it doesn't make any sense to do, monetarily for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't care about people's, mental health, or,
no.
They don't care about, anybody small doing anything. Otherwise, some of that's why they make advertising so fucking hard on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Yep. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, this. Yeah, cool. We'll just deal with it.
Well, so going back to Necrofier, I know you guys have a tour coming up, or a short tour at least.
We're doing we're doing a short Texas run, just like all major cities in Texas, and headlining, which we haven't done. I don't think we've headlined like this. We haven't done a run like this in a while, or ever. We've gone out with other bands and done it, but we haven't just been cool, these are our shows. and we're like Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio.
Cool. Is anybody playing with you, opening for you?
We got some stuff like Crawl's playing with us in Austin. I'm stoked about that. Tyrant's Might, which is Wyatt from Steel Bearing Hand, if you guys jam that stuff at all. It's this new black metal project that's sick.
Cool.
Couple bands in Houston. It's just like you're just doing bands from each city, like locals that trying to do some like because there seems to be like I guess at least I've been noticing lately there's a lot more people in their like say 18 to 23 range starting bands and starting bands where like a lot of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
And like black metal bands, traditional metal bands, all stuff like that, thrash bands, where I feel like there's been a gap in this for a while. And so, like, I mean, just trying to get new stuff and other things like that, like old friends, like with stuff with bands, and then like especially like whoever's opening like newer bands in the city.
That's cool. Well, I'm going to be at the Houston show actually.
Sick.
So I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll get a chance to say hey to you if you're not too busy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got one final question for you. I don't want to keep you too long. Is there any behind-the-scenes stories that are noteworthy or funny that you would like to share that has happened through doing Hell's Heroes for, what is this, number 8 now? Number 7? 7? 8?
I mean, there's always some ridiculous stuff every year. Usually it would just be outing some dude being a fucking diva, but like, I don't know if I really want to fucking blast him on the fucking internet about it. But I mean, most of it, like, it's just like, I mean, really, honestly, everything's gone pretty, like, really well every year. There's always headaches and some things, like a couple things like to tweak and fix, and like something comes up we got to deal with, but everything really runs pretty smooth. I got really funny off the top of my head. I don't really know just because there's, I don't know, too much. I mean, okay, what's something funny? So the Heights House Hotel is like a fucking party hotel, and it somehow this all just happened. And I didn't even know about it until like it was like 2022, and I was reposting stuff in the morning on Saturday or the second day. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was like a tiki fucking like line around the pool with people with boom boxes jamming Bewitched from fucking Candlemass and like dancing around the pool. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is insane. But there's always some madness going on over there.
I think one of the funniest things that I saw.
Like 6 a.m. And then they'll like go to sleep and go to the fest at noon. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It gets tougher as you get older, that's for sure.
I mean, I could maybe do that when I was in my 20s, but yeah, that ship sailed.
Oh yeah, I'm in the ADA seating at this point. I'm too old for the pit, so too old and too beat up at this point.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest things that I saw was in 2022 was Sadistic Force. When they played, they had that cauldron that had like smoke coming out of it, but it was really small. You know, it was really tiny. You know, sitting on the stage. And it just reminded me of that scene in Spinal Tap when, you know, that thing lowers from the stage.
Of course, isn't like a serious band like that. I don't know if it's like supposed to be hokey, but like, I mean, I guess if they watch this, they're going to talk to me about it or something. But I mean, I feel like
they're great guys, though. Yeah. They're great guys. I just thought it was funny when I saw it, and I'm sure most people wouldn't even picture it like I did. But
I mean, I see stuff like that, I laugh. But also, like, since I like, if I'm doing shows with like Necrofier, it's like we're like we try to like take everything like it's more on the serious side for the show. So it's like when like if I see bands do that, I'm always like, all right, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but you know, but that's what they're going for. So I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it. It's just sometimes I'm always like, what the fuck is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell the guys in Sadistic Force love to have fun. You know, I was talking to them. I bought a shit ton of their merch. But yeah, I was just super shocked that they were on that pre-party, considering they were a very new band and their album had only come out like a year or 9 months earlier or something. It was very, very quick.
I mean, especially in that world, like, I mean, I feel like if I just don't randomly hear about it, like somebody shoots it to me, if it's something in Texas, especially. I mean, because I was like Mythcarver was playing, like my friend Dallas sent me that and was like this, check it out.
Yeah.
There's a new heavy metal band in Texas. And I was like, thank God. Because it's like on some of that, it's like I would like to include more regional bands, like depending on what it is, but it's still got to be the right band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely fit right in, you know. And I'm super excited to see Hell Ripper for the same reason.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be sick. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's a big get. Well,
see, that's more stuff. Like I've been talking to that dude since like 2019.
Oh, nice.
I'm just like this. we should do this. And he's like, yeah. And then like they became like a lot more busy in the last years. So he's like, oh, I can't do this. Well, we would have to do a tour. I'm like, just come for the fest. He's like, can we do that? I was like, yes.
I'm glad that worked out. Well, I've noticed that Hell's Heroes doesn't have a website.
Yeah, that's something I meant to do this year, except this year was like probably the busiest year I've ever had between like fest, touring, other things that like it was on my list. Then it just never happened.
Gotcha.
Hopefully maybe this year. Like Dauber's having a baby like in the end of March. So like Necrofier's chilling the most half of this year anyways. So like it won't be like touring into the fest or doing anything insane. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. If I have some time, I can do this website.
Well, where can our listeners go to find out more information about Hell's Heroes or buy tickets, since there isn't?
The easiest way is either on Facebook or Instagram. Just like there's pages on both Hell's Heroes Festival or Hell's Heroes, whatever. Ticket links are on both of them. Or you can just go to White Oak, like it's whiteoakmusichall.com. Like that's where it'll take you anyways.
Cool.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us about the festival and Necrofier and everything. And we're really excited for the show this year.
Hell yeah.
All right.
But thanks for having me.
Flying down from Iowa.
Oh, yeah.